everyone, and welcome back to a Gran Turismo time trial here in 2025. And we're in the Renault Clio right there, and Sardinia, if you saw the big old billboard that was above the circuit. It's actually Sardinia Layout A, so we're also doing this in a daily race, weirdly. It seems that's commonality at the moment with time trials and daily races. We're in the Renault Clio, sports hard tyres. This is easy, actually. Just avoid the walls. And a goal estimate around a 2 minute 7.5. I say there's some commonality at the moment that a daily race normally refers to what the time trial is going to be. So it seems like they're not putting much thought process into this right now. If you do enjoy these videos though, do give them a like and subscribe to the channel. It tells me that I should keep them making them. And if they don't get a lot of likes, I'll start to reduce them. Let's jump into this one then. And first of all, we start off with my lap records. We're going to head towards turn number 1 now. And we're looking on the right hand side here for this orange painted barrier or red painted, depending on how it shows on your screen. It's just before the 100 board, which you can see in the distance. So we're braking just before we get to it on the right side. You see, I've just got on the brakes right now. We're going to go on hard on the brakes, and we're going to drop to 3rd gear for this one. So we're going from 5th down to 3rd gear. Keep it nice and straight then going towards the corner. Make sure you clip the inside curb if you can and accelerate through. You don't drop to 2nd because this is front wheel drive. If you drop to 2nd, you just get wheel spin and it feels horrible. So 3rd gear is what you need there. You need to straighten up as quick as possible to stop any wheel spin even in 3rd gear. So we go to this next corner then, and we're looking for this 50 board right here. So it's as it hits bang on the top of your screen right now, you're going to hit the brakes. And once again, you're going to drop to 3rd gear, but you're going to delay that downshift to 3rd gear. You're going to go to 4th first and just keep it there a little bit and control the car. You're going to go hard on the brakes. You're going to trail brake in towards the corner. Watch what I do. Trail brake. Then we drop to 3rd. We'll let the car roll a little bit. I accelerated there, but all you have to do really is let the car roll. You'll see that on the controller lap. And then we're going to hit the brakes when this catch fence on the left-hand side gets to the edge of your screen. So the further left you are, the better you can do this right-hander, the more speed you carry out of it. So it's critical you do get as far left as possible. Notice there, I'm letting the car do its own thing. I don't drop below 50 miles an hour. I'm in 3rd gear on the exit, and then I could continue on through. Again, you're trying to straighten up as quick as you can to avoid any front wheel spin there in this car. So this brake marker is an annoying one. I talked about it in the weekly race guide. So on the right hand side, you've got this tree that sticks out, or bush there on the right hand side. And just after that, there's a gap in the bushes. And that's what I'm actually looking for here, the gap in the bushes. You see this funky tree there? It does stand out a little bit here. So as that leaves the screen, we're going to hit the brakes. We trail brake a little bit towards the corner, and we're trying to get as close to the wall as we can. Now, we do have an accelerating marker for this particular corner, and we have these 2 marshals on the right hand side. So once they are past the center of your screen, start to think about accelerating. Even if you're only doing half acceleration, it's all good. You can see how close I am to the wall here, literally a millimeter further left, and it invalidates the lap. Continue on out of there. You will suffer a bit of understeer due to that front wheel spin, but try and maximize the revs in this car. That's where all the power is, right at the top end of this car. And then try some short shifting. It definitely doesn't work. 110 miles an hour, shift to 5th gear on this straight. Do not try and get to 111. It will not work. The 110, shift and carry on in 5th gear. You approach the hairpin then here, the next corner. I'll stop it before I'm actually braking here. So that tree there is the start of a row of trees, okay? You can see the gap that's on the right hand side there. So as that tree hits the edge of your screen, you're then going to hit the brakes. It's just before the 100 board, okay? You don't brake at this point. You brake as the start of those trees hits the edge of the screen. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I drop to 3rd gear. I keep out wide as long as you can and then turn in. And that's a bit of weight shift there. And then you can accelerate out as being in a bit more of a better angle so that you can straight line it, less wheel spin. That's the key to this time trial. Avoid the wheel spin at all costs. We're in 4th gear now. We're actually going to go up to 5th gear. You don't have to go to 5th gear. Hit the rev limiter if you prefer for this one, because the whole point of this one is to get the line right, not necessarily to carry 1 mile an hour extra. So the end of the concrete here is our brake marker. You see we're about to hit the brakes right now. So you're going to hit the brakes. If you're in 5th gear, you're going to drop to 4th gear. If you're in 4th gear, don't worry about it. We're just at this point in time. We then go into this corner. We're trying to get as close to the barrier as humanly possible. Stay in 4th gear on the exits. Don't be in 5th because you want to maximize the revs here. Stay in 4th all the way to this last corner, this last brake gear marker, which is 100 board, which is just about to hit the rear view. So you can see I've just got on the brakes right now, 100%. I've just come off the throttle. It's literally down at 20% now, and we are hitting the brakes. We're going to drop to 3rd gear for this one as well. Don't go to 5th. You may hit the limiter. Don't worry about that. The whole point here is we want to stay in 4th and then drop to 3rd during the corner. Through this corner you go. Just be careful about running wide on the exit. That barrier can be a bit deadly on the exits if you do understeer a little bit. But if you just delay that turn in a little bit for the hairpin, you'll see this more on some of my other laps that I'm going to show you here, then you will actually experience a better exit and therefore carry more speed. 5th gear through the right-hander there. It's flat out, that one. We're going to head towards the line. This is a 2 minute 4.3, so this was 2nd on the leaderboard at the time, and you can follow that ghost on the leaderboard, and I'll show you how later on. We jump to our controller lap then, or gamepad, or whatever you want to call it here. And once again, we're looking at that red painted barrier on the right hand side just before the 100. We dropped third gear, getting on the inside there. Look how much of the camber we use there. We can accelerate out of the corner right now. Maximum revs there, then we go up to fourth gear as we continue on through the left-hander. Head over towards the right hand side then. Remember, we are looking for the 50 board hitting the top of my screen here. Up to fifth gear we go. Hit top of my screen, I'm going to hit the brakes. Trail brake a little bit, delay the third gear, then we go to the left. Look how much we roll there on the controller versus the wheel. Just because it's a bit harder to go left and right on the controller, so just let the car roll. I can then think about just controlling the car. So I highly advise you do that if you do struggle to get goal times. End up here then, there's 50 board. We're looking for that weird tree. There it is. Hit the brakes, third gear as we go into here. Notice I went for a wider line here. You can try and do that because it does work as well. Wider line in gives you a better exit. As you can see there, we suffered less understeer on the exit. We didn't lose that much time to my ghost up ahead. Start the trees on the right side. There it is. Hit the brakes, drop down to third gear. Now keep it out wide and then bring it back in. This time we didn't get it quite on the inside, but again, we didn't lose that much time. The whole point in this one is you avoid the walls and you get the goal time, which is why I said that in the introduction of this video. So we head up here then. We're going to change to fifth. I can't remember what I do on the controller. No, I don't. See, I stay in fourth. End of the concrete. We then brake. So we get it as close as we can to the wall. Try and maintain 90 miles an hour. That's a key apex speed there for you. And now we're looking for that 100 board here. Hard on the brakes. It hits the rear view mirror as we go on to the brakes. We try and get this car turned. We did a second braking point there. That's try and get weight rotation in the car to get it round. Don't worry about that too much. Just make sure you keep it nice and smooth as we continue towards the line end. This is a 204.8. I think it was. There it is. You can follow that one on the leaderboard as well. And I'll show you how later on. Let's go to chase cam then. Let's have a look how close I am to these walls. The orange painted barrier or red painted on the left and on the right hand side, sorry, is your brake marker. Remember, I'm using ABS weak for these. I'll always put which ABS I'm using, but weak is what I use at the moment. I just prefer that. But there's no real difference between the two if you are using default. So we continue on through then, head over towards this right hand side. Remember, we're looking for the 50 board, so it's not quite the top of the screen now here on chase cam, but it's very close there as we go on the brakes. Delay that change to third gear. There it is as we get over towards the left hand side as much as we can. Then we hit the brakes where the catch vent is. We continue on through here. Use all the curb on the exit. Don't go on the grass. If you go on the grass, you're going to absolutely kill your lap time, so avoid that at all costs. Lift if you need to. Head over towards the right hand side. There's the gap in the bushes. You can see it very clearly on chase cam as we go into here. There are the marshals. We can start accelerating now. And then we change when we feel we're going to understeer into the grass and therefore the barrier because we don't want to do that. Head up towards the hairpin and start the trees is your brake marker. Dropping down to third gear now as we turn in. And then we accelerate straight away. Be aggressive on the throttle for this one in particular because, yes, the car will understeer a little bit, but in third gear, it's not that bad. It really isn't. We continue on through then. Head over towards the left-hand side. Up to fifth if you want to. Stay in fourth if you want to. Just on the controller. Over towards the right side now. End of the concrete is our brake marker. We turn in. Try and carry 90 miles an hour as a minimum as we continue on through. Our final brake marker, once again, is the 100 board. There it is. We hit the brakes now. So keep over towards the right side, even a bit more than I do here. Then turn in and then just put your foot to the floor again. Be aggressive on the exit. Just make sure you don't touch that grass because it could understeer you into the end of that barrier. And then you're going to invalidate your lap. Now, if you do hit the barrier on the kink, by the way, you won't actually invalidate your next lap. I'll explain that a little bit more when we go into VR now. So we're going to head towards turn one. Once again, the 100 board just before that is the red painted barrier, orange painted barrier. There it is. We're going to hit the brakes, brake in a straight line now. Then we chuck it in using all the camber and then accelerate through in third gear. So get towards the rev limits here, which is 7,000 here on VR. And then we're up to fourth gear. Head over towards the right hand side now. Remember, we're looking for the 50 board. I would always brake a little bit later than my markers in VR. It seems to work out better. So that's what we're doing now. Just disappears off the top of my screen. We're then going to hit the brakes. And remember, delay that third gear change. Head over towards the left hand side. Hit the brakes. Get it turned in now. Once you clip that curb, just go for it. Go, 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 go. And then head over towards the right-hand side. Look at that funky bush. And then there's a gap. We actually want the gap, but the funky bush tells us where it is. There's the 50. Where's the funky bush? There it is. We can hit the brakes then as we go into here. Where are the marshals? There's Barry and Steve. We accelerate now as they get close to the edge of your screen. Obviously, when it gets to the center of your screen, start to think about accelerating and then judge it accordingly. Remember, rev the car as you go up here. Just be careful on VR about hitting the barrier on the right-hand side. You do not want to do that because it will invalidate your lap. So we head over towards the left now, keep it nice and close there, and back towards the right. Start the trees is what we're looking for, and there they are. We're going to hit the brakes just for the 100 board there as well. So keeping it out wide, we turn in. Now in VR, you can really judge how close you are to the walls a little bit better. It does help with the kink coming up ahead. So Whether we go to 4th or 5th gear is entirely up to you. I just keep saying that because some people may want to stay in 4th. I highly advise staying in 4th, to be honest with you, if you do struggle. Head over towards the right side. End of the concrete is our brake mark as we turn in. If you hit the barrier here, it doesn't invalidate your next lap. So just pointing that out right now because you will hit that barrier at some point doing this. 100 board there is your brake marker, the final brake marker for this one. Look how much wider we stayed there, and that just allows us to get a better line through this corner, and we can accelerate there. Nearly ended up on the grass, though, because I was a bit too aggressive, but even so, we made it absolutely fine. So we can head towards this kink here. So this is flat out once again. As you get towards it, just go up to 5th gear now, and it'll just stop any understeer there. At this point, the turbo and engine are working very well together. We head towards the line. This is a 2-minute 4.7, I think, from memory, so you can follow this ghost as well on the leaderboard. They're all on the leaderboards if you want to follow a particular lap. Now, how do you do this? How do you get the chance to race for 2 million credits? Well, I'm about to show you. So here is the starter screen, and we're going to go to sport mode in that top right-hand side. There it is, and we click into that one. You present with the next screen, which has daily races on the left. We're interested in the time trials on the right-hand side. I'll talk about the Honda one in a second. We're doing the Sardinia one right now, which is the center one there. I haven't forgot about the Honda one. I only just realized it existed this week, so I will get to that one at some point. So do bear with me with that one. We've got into this event then, and on the top left here, you've got gold, silver, bronze. So if you get under the 3% time, which is 3% of the world record, you will get 2 million credits. 5% is 1, and then 250 for 10%. We're going to go to the leaderboard now. You can do this when you're in the session as well to load a ghost, but you could go to the global ranking, and then you can pick my replay here if you want to watch it. It's currently the highest ranked replay available to you. You go down to my VR one if you want a slightly slower ghost. It's there. And the TCR TC one is the controller lap, which you can follow there, the 204.8. And they'll always be there now for 2 weeks if you do want to follow them. The critical point of this one then, avoid the walls, avoid the barriers, and make sure you reduce that understeer by just being in a slightly higher gear. You do maximize the revs on the straights in order to maximize their power, but in terms of a time trial, for me, this is an easy one. It's actually quite an enjoyable one as well, so you should be able to do this one and get those 2 million credits. If you enjoyed this video, as always, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Stay in touch with all the latest content, including the Honda one, which will appear shortly. There are 2 videos there to check out, including last week's time trial in the crazy Corvette. My partners are down below, so do check them out, and in a pinned comment there should be my Delta Laps as well. A big thank you for watching as always, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.